can't touch this plane.
Mm-hmm.
Just I was listening.
Hi.
Welcome everybody to Armour Class 0.
What up?
What
Hello.
up?
How's everybody doing?
We're live.
Yep.
Ah,
Pretty good. Live or
Good.
alive?
We're
alive and kicking.
alive.
And I have to say, on my clock, it's only 2 minutes past 8.
I know,
So
Record.
we are very nearly
we are,
on time.
oh man,
Yeah,
Close,
close. Closest yet.
I don't
Yeah.
think we ever started this close to our goal.
No,
time
we
to
have
start.
once.
Maybe our
Have
first
we?
time.
I don't think no, because we had
Like the
technical
first time we were
difficulties.
done it.
Or I might
Did
have
we not have
started it.
technical difficulties and it didn't like actually kick off until like
Well,
20
yeah.
minutes after the time?
That
that
was
could
true.
be.
We were gonna start, but there was technical problems. And I think
So-
I've started the pre-stream a couple times sometime.
There you go.
Good enough.
So, welcome everybody. Good to be back. We had a little week off because of travel from some people and stuff, but we're here. And as far as I know, for the foreseeable future, there shouldn't be any more cancellations or things coming up. Unless I now see somebody go like, well, actually,
Well,
no,
actually,
nobody.
no.
So,
On a legitimate, actually, I'll get back to you on that.
okay.
So,
Anyways.
in other news, we might have a slot opening up soon on our crew.
Yeah, he's
Not-
too
not
busy
even roll.
DMing.
Yeah, not even
Yeah.
roll 6d4s, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So, now,
Jokes aside.
as some of you may have seen or may have heard or may have realized, is that last Monday there was also some activity on our stream and on our YouTube and Twitch and stuff, because somebody has gotten the DM bug and decided to run his very own campaign. Brains, is there something you want to tell people about it or mention or?
Very nearly killed someone in the first session, so you can't say it's not exciting. Yeah, running Curse of Strahd with another group, and we're using Roll20. So instead of webcams, you can actually see the battle maps and stuff. So yeah, it's a bit more visual.
Yeah.
But if you do watch it, don't say anything in the chat because you can see my DM screen, so you can see all the shit that they can't.
Ooh, gives the players insight. Yeah.
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that's really awesome. I watched it. It looked really good. It actually, I thought it looked that good that I was like, oh man, why don't we use this for our campaign? But because my campaign is just not a constructed story that is published by D&D. Brains and I actually talked about it for a bit. That it's the Roll20 system is. I think it looks really nice, but it works very well with pre-constructed stories. So that you already have the maps and already have everything set up.
Yeah.
So if you haven't watched it, check it out. It's a great moment to jump in because only one episode has started yet. And are you going to do it weekly, Brains, or?
Yeah, we've agreed every Monday.
Every
now
Monday.
there will be a break. I think next month, a couple of them have
August,
holidays
right?
coming up. Yeah, I think a couple of them have holidays coming up, so there'll be a wee break. But then, yeah, it'll be every Monday more or less.
And
Awesome.
what time do you stream?
Same time as here, 7 or 8 if you're in
If you're
Crowhere's time
Dutchy, yeah.
zone. Yeah,
Or mine. I'm not Dutch.
close enough. I mean, Europe.
Well, I believe there are 2 Dutch people playing in it, so.
Well, anything out on that side of the UK is Europe, and anything on that side is America. See, we were being
That
bigoted
checks out.
to other countries well before America was doing it.
But we
So,
fucking
one
brought that
nation.
Okay, so
Anyway.
anyways, yeah, let's steer away from that topic. We're gonna get right back into it. Last session was a pretty big deal, I think, because our beloved wizard Vince was brought back from the dead, and he is now more or less buck naked.
He has a poncho and a loincloth.
You got some stuff from your fellow party members, but all your other stuff has been lost, and you guys are just kind of rearing still from the encounter that you had with this hag. And I believe, were you guys already? I think you were already moving back, right? You were kind of leaving the area that's called.
Yeah, we'd met up with the
and you were camping, and you met the Dryad.
Dryad, not Druid. Same thing. They're all nature.
Yeah, it's kind of the same nature, whatever, you know.
One hugs trees, the other looks like a tree.
Yeah, so you came across this forest gnome, and he was just like, "Whoa, what up, peeps?" Yeah. So I believe you guys were keeping watch and taking a long rest to kind of look into it.
Yes.
To kind of get back your bearings. So it's the next morning.
But actually, I thought of something I needed to ask the Dryad in the watch.
There you go.
Which I completely forgot the last session because of Vince coming back. But the first watch then. And Ellie... Well, the Dryad had walked up to Ellie, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She's sitting with you, kind of keeping watch, and
And Ellie, it takes a little bit for her to work up the courage and some watching of Fluffles, but she gathers up her courage and she speaks in Elvish, and she asks, "You said earlier that Fluffles wasn't a cat?"
She looks at you and smiles, and then kind of nods.
But what else can he be?
Many things.
Can you ask if he minds letting me know? I mean, it won't change how I feel about him. He's still my Fluffles.
She looks at Fluffles and looks at you, looks back at him, and kind of brings her finger to him and just scratches him a bit behind his ear, and he just, you hear him purring. He doesn't want me to tell you.
Aww.
Is it a 50-year-old fat man?
But I'm sure he'll tell you when the time is right.
It's Grimhook.
It's Grim. Check and see if it has a wee singed part in its chin. That was you.
The D&D overlay needs to be changed.
Oh,
The D&D Beyond.
I thought I changed that. Apparently not. One fucking job one job along with all the other jobs.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Are you sad?
What did you say?
Are you sad?
I was hoping he would trust me enough to let me know, but maybe it's not about trust.
I don't think so. He didn't want me to know either. I could just tell.
Do you mind maybe actually telling the others that he's a magical cat just? Because they're gonna keep asking as well.
Tell them what?
About Fluffles.
That he's magical?
Or a magical cat or a special cat.
All cats are special.
Exactly. They won't question it then.
I will tell them. But I don't think all of you understand me. The black-skinned one, he doesn't
He's not the one with
speak any of the languages I know.
Yep.
Racist.
But he's not... He's not the one that would most likely asks questions about it, though. Maybe the others won't remember, but if they do, they might be more inquisitive than me.
I understand. I will tell them if it helps.
I hope it does.
Roll your perception, Ellie.
18.
18. You sit there, and while you two are talking, you can tell that there's something moving. It's already getting close to morning, so it's not as dark in the forest as it was before. But you see something moving, and you see it especially for forest principles, because trees in the front of it and stuff. It's moving quite rapidly, and you see it at quite a large distance, and it's kind of moving in your direction.
Ellie gets up and basically stands at the ready, holding Fluffles close, and be like, "What's that?" And points at
The
it.
Dryad also gets up and looks, and both of you are kind of looking, and you see what looks like a deer kind of hopping through the forest and kind of moving in your direction.
A deer.
Mm-hmm.
I relax a little bit, but does deer do that? Like come closer to people, not to run instead of running away.
Yes, very often, as it kind of just hops closer, and you now see that it was, you would assume, quite focused, but as it kind of jumps closer by, it sees you standing there, but it also sees the other three kind of lying next to the fire, and you see it kind of like land and look, and you see its ears kind of twitching and stuff, and you see the Dryad kind of extending her hand, come, as it gets closer, but it seems much more weary now. It just walks closer by, and the Dryad kind of touches its face as it comes by. This is Ellie. She is a friend. She kind of pets the deer, as it just all of a sudden kind of like pushes its head against the hand of the Dryad, and you see her kind of taken aback as she takes a step back, still keeping her hand on her forehead. Oh my!
What's wrong?
I'm not sure. There are strange deaths happening in the forest. It's okay. It's okay. I will find out what's going on. As it kind of it keeps butting its head against her hand. Go, warn the others. She kind of lets him go, and it runs off. This is strange. Did anything strange happen when you were fighting the Dark One?
Yes, many things. Our dwarf that was with us, we had a dwarf with us. I don't think you met him. Well, first of all, Vince died, and then a dwarf showed up, and then the dwarf died and got into a rubble of ashes, and then Vince came back, but we had to dig him out, and there was a slime puddle that disappeared. It had
That
eyes.
sums it up. There you go.
What?
It's that fucking puddle in it.
What?
Someone died into ashes? A slime puddle? What are you talking about?
I don't know.
You guys can roll your perception if you want to, with disadvantage because you're kind of sleeping still. But the voices are being a bit louder now than they were before, in kind of talking in hushed voices with each other about this and that. The emotion is kind of driving them a bit.
11.
No,
11.
25 for me.
Yeah.
Jesus, with
Baron,
disadvantage. Fuck
you
me.
like what?
Words.
and Vince, you're gonna you hear in your like you're far in the distance. You hear like, and you're like, I'm tired. Go
Yeah.
away.
Sleepy in.
And Gemini doesn't even give a fuck. So
He hears it loud and clear. He's just like,
yeah, he's used to sleeping in
Not
loud
my problem.
taverns. So yeah.
mage hand to cover your ear.
Yeah.
Ding. Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, what do you do, Ver? You kind of you wake up as you see Ellie and this dryad kind of speaking with each other in a language you think you've heard before, but it all sounds a bit like and it's like it's all a bit like
Do you hear anything with the 5, or is it just woken up because of the noise, or what?
sorry.
Am I woken up because of 5 in perception, or?
Oh, I thought you rolled very high.
No, that would have been Vince, wouldn't it?
Oh, I thought you said 25.
Yeah, that's what
I
we
thought
heard.
I
Yeah,
thought
no,
that's
no,
what I heard.
no,
I was
no,
like,
no.
holy
Just
moly!
5.
Yeah, I heard 25.
5.
Yeah, I heard 25. No.
I heard.
Oh,
also-
Baron doesn't roll very high. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I thought like it must have been a natural 20 or something. I was like, holy crap!
I was gonna say with disadvantage, you must have just rolled 2 fucking 20.
I couldn't even get anywhere near 25 with a natural
Jeez.
20, so.
Okay, well then,
Well,
then
that
actually
explains it.
nothing happens. You just keep sleeping and you just like,
Snoring in your armor.
I think my passive is higher than both of what you guys have rolled.
Yep.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
passive is
17.
14.
My
Oh,
passive's
shit,
higher than
actually.
what I rolled, so.
Actually, I forgot to add my bonus. That should have been 15. My
15. Oh
apologies.
well, then
Yeah.
you do wake up, Vince. You like your eyes.
Not much
kinda
use. I
open.
wasn't there for any of it. Like, what are you arguing about? Did that happen? Okay, cool.
I remember me being there.
Who turned into ash? Why did he turn into ash?
Well, we had defeated the hag, and we were in a lair, and we were looking for stuff and trying to find out what's going on, and we found a magic stone that was supposed to contain something, and the dwarf, we had the dwarf with us that was there to defeat the hag. He touched it, and then he turned to ashes, but not instantly, but like in a few minutes.
Oh my!
And we couldn't stop it, and we didn't know what was going on, and then we kept digging, and we found Vince, the wizard, because he had died earlier because I had killed him while being an illusion as me, because I thought he killed Fluffles because she probably created an illusion of Fluffles.
All right.
But in the lair there was also like this big pot. and it was some kind of wild concoction in it. And it seemed kind of alive because if people looked at it, it was drawing them in. And it had eyes. Eyes? I don't know if it was more than one eye. I didn't see it. But suddenly it was gone after we found Vince. And I don't know if this Vince is the slime puddle or the slime puddle disappeared, but it's not there anymore.
This was in the lair of the Dark One.
Mm-hmm.
I should go there. Perhaps I can see something that explains what's going on. Will you be all right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we're back, we're here, and I mean, we're alive, and this place doesn't look too bad. And I got my eyes open because I don't trust the slime puddle.
She kind of takes a knee and kind of lowers herself to your height and embraces you. Be careful, Ellie.
I will try.
There might be something strange and out there that kills.
Should we wait for you?
I might be a while. I can understand if you wish to go. It'll be safer in a village or anywhere else.
We might come back though.
I'm quite safe in the forest. I can't guarantee your safety if there is indeed something that kills with such rapidness as I have been informed.
What does it kill? Everything?
Animals mostly. It leaves behind bits of fur and claw and some bones, but other than that, nothing.
Okay.
I should go. Thank your friends for me again, and
Yeah. Be careful.
all right. She kind of stands up, and you see her walking towards the tree and kind of hop into the tree and disappear.
I will stare at the tree for like 10 seconds and be like, what? And then I will wake up the others.
All right. You see Vince is already kind of awake and kind of looking at you guys having this conversation.
Did we get a long rest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vince will have dug through the pouch, through Grimhook stuff, and nicked his tobacco
Okay.
and stuffed his pipe in. And yeah, that's it. Oh.
Gemini, Baron!
Yes.
Pineapples.
Pineapple.
Yes.
The dryad had to go. There's something killing stuff in the forests.
Oh no, that sounds like a not my problem. We should leave.
That was actually her suggestion.
Oh, good. See, I knew I liked it. Shall we?
Yeah, I think so. Are you guys okay?
Yes, sorry, it took me a while to get up. It felt like I was sleeping really, really hard.
He missed a deer.
Vince
I
is
know
just
all
like
about that
stretching.
problem.
Vince is just like stretching, going, well, I got killed. I don't have any of my shit. I've lost my spell book. I think I
That's
am a
not
couple.
true. You have your pipe.
I have my pipe. I am a couple of miles from okay, but I'm up.
Well, then I suggest we get you to the nearest supply store to restock.
Oh yeah. Let's go to fucking Wizards R Us. Well,
Maybe
Agreed.
there's something in the village though that they can help you.
Oh, they don't appear to have much magic there. I tried to get something commissioned, and they were dicks about it.
I can't see it unless I want a crowbar or a ladder. I think I'm going to be
I hear crowbars and ladders very useful.
I heard that they are exceptional crowbars and ladders.
Yes,
But maybe
very
the
useful.
And in
little chat
fact,
has something.
Quite
if-
fine quality.
If I had
Oh.
a crowbar or a ladder, I may not have been in this predicament in the first place.
That's very true.
That's
You could
true.
find yourself-
I disagree. I'd say this grappling hook's quite useful, actually.
Yeah.
But maybe the little chat
Well-
can help you.
Ah, fine idea.
Maybe, but I don't think God magic's going to help me out too much. But yeah, we can check.
You know,
She's the closest thing to a wizard.
I might know somebody who may be of some assistance in that village.
Do you
Possibly.
know people in the village?
I know everybody.
Everybody knows him. So hold on, no, this is saying that this is someone in the village that you spoke to,
Yes,
and they're willing to speak to you again.
I know. It amazed me too. Oh,
Are they a
it's so
bard?
easy to make friends. No. Well, possibly.
Are they a
Well,
criminal?
Yes.
Yeah, that it makes sense now.
Yes. Well,
Are
then,
you a
shall we
criminal?
off? Not here.
References. I'll tweet that one out later on so people understand what the hell that reference was.
Well then,
Okay.
Yes. Seeing as how all of us have gotten us lost at one point or another, I suggest we follow Baron, if only to keep the most armored one in front.
Do you know the way to go?
Varen, during most of this conversation, was kind of just doing his morning prayers, so he's just sort of getting up off the floor now. You want me to lead the way? I'm
you
not
would.
too sure where we are, so I suppose pick a
Don't believe any
direction.
of us. Did the Dryad give us any sense of direction?
Good question.
No, but she went that way. I will point at the tree she disappeared into.
What, in
Fantastic.
that general direction, or
No, into the tree.
into the tree? Okay.
So, she.
All right. While this is going on, Vince is going to try and gauge what way they should be going. Just be like, oh, I'm talking about things going into trees, right? Where are we?
All right, roll your survival.
Oh, my survival's actually quite good. Oh, that roll is not. That's a 12.
That's a 12. You kind of look around and you probably need to go somewhere that direction, but it's pretty wide.
So yeah. Anyway, what way are we going, Vince?
Just go that way, and he'll just sort of like have a sweeping sort of.
Yeah, it's kind of like 1/4 of a compass, like somewhere in that direction.
Somewhere in that direction.
Yeah, I don't have my staff, so all my stuff is like way off right now. My chi is fucked.
So, speaking of your things, we know they weren't at the hag's lair.
Do you
I
think
guess
you
we
could?
don't know.
You had a finding spell, didn't you?
I do, but to use it now in the middle of the forest would be asinine. So we
just
either...
know that you couldn't find my spell book. Could check for
Yes.
some other shit.
That is true. I was thinking maybe in the area where you died.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, Neil, turn around to Varen. He'd be like, I met Kalimvor. He says you're a little bitch.
How?
My God, I found religion.
Yeah.
You met Kalimvor.
Oh,
yeah. No, that would make sense. Yes. Where did he send you?
Can't remember. I remember there was a sun, I think, and the sand.
Oh, that's very convenient. I was just talking to him only moments ago.
Yeah,
He said you were a little bitch too.
Boys, you're both bitches. Let's be on our way now.
And Vince will put his hand on your shoulder and just be like, coming from the queen of bitches. Let's go.
Yes,
Indeed, I wear it proudly.
Anyway, were you saying something about finding no stuff? Is there still stuff you have not found?
All of it.
Not the
What are
pipe.
you looking for?
Apart from the pipe. But yes, Gemini, good point. We'll maybe try it where
Oh, we could look for your
where the
hat.
attack happened. Yes. Any of it, I'd be thankful for,
So the opening, the little grove opening that we were attacked before.
Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
I'm
Does anybody know where that is?
I'm not exactly sure where I ran to because it was dark and I was concerned about things. But your spell has decent range, doesn't it? If we get to the grove.
I mean, theoretically, yes.
Do you guys know the way to the grove?
It's a fine day today.
Interesting question.
I'll roll a thing to see if I can see a thing. Yo, man. Yeah. That's exactly what I said verbatim.
Can I help him?
No, hell no. Just spinning in circles, staring at the sky.
No, sorry, you already rolled, so you're no, you don't know.
I think Optic hasn't rolled.
What's this for perception?
So yeah, we don't know.
Survival is what
I-
You're going on
have an
front,
idea,
you need to know.
actually. I have an idea. Gemini, what did you search for of Vince's?
His pipe
Spellbook.
and yes, I believe his spellbook were the two things.
So you were able to find his pipe, but not his
Yes.
spellbook.
Correct.
What else did you need, Vince?
His hat.
What about your hat?
Yeah. Stop. Yeah.
Your hat?
Ideally, a spellbook would be really good right now. But
So what you're saying is I should use all three of my uses on your hat.
Yes.
No.
Yes, because the spellbook might be in the hat,
There we go.
as might the staff and the robes and
Of course,
I mean, it's
yes.
a big
all
hat.
the shit.
Right.
It is a voluminous hat.
Do you
Quite,
have
yes.
a portal dimension in your hat where you can put stuff?
Vern's gonna ignore
No,
this
but
conversation.
if we buy a portable hole, I could. And then I could pull it down over my head and then just have,
Sit down
that could
and
be like a
cast
big hat.
locate object.
Oh, nice. Oh, look, Baron can do it.
He's gonna try and look for his hat. So it should give me a
Alright.
general direction of where his hat is within 1,000
Within
feet.
1,000 feet. Yeah.
You
How far is 1,000 feet in miles?
you sit down. How
No.
how many how does your magic how do you summon this spell to you?
Well, I'm gonna sit down like I normally do when I'm sort of praying, just on my hunger sort of thing, and I'll just sort of like ask Kilmvor, sort of via mumbling, sort of Kilmvor texts, sort of as a prayer, and go, Kilmvor, could you please help me find Vince's hat?
You hear a whisper in the wind. No, you're a little bitch.
As your sight and senses just extend for a moment, and you look around, and the world is blank, and you think the only thing you would see at this point is Vince's hat. You kind of look around, and you don't believe you've ever seen this far. Nothing obstructs your view when your sight is perfect. But as you look around, you make a full turn, you do not see his hat.
Hmm.
And the spell
That is troubling.
fades, and everything comes back into existence.
Yes, that is very troubling. It appears, as far as I understand the spell, that I don't know where his hat is.
Well, we are in the middle of the forest. There's no reason it would be within 1,000 feet of where we are. This is not the place to look for it, I don't think.
Well, I can give a general guess that we're within 1,000 feet of where Vince died.
Are we?
I don't know. Are we?
You are lost. You have no idea if you are within 1,000 feet of.
Can
Vince
Vern
died.
check to see if we are close to? Well, I don't know. I'll give a guess if he knows where we are and if we're
You
near
could
it.
try to kind of have an idea of where you are. Roll your survival.
Survival. Nope. Just nope.
You are in a forest.
That is 5.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. Gemini sits down cross-legged and casts locate object on the fire that we lit, like the burned out bonfire that we lit in our old camping spot by where Vince died. Where all the
Ooh.
wolves attacked us and stuff. Yeah.
Can it be something like that?
It's an object. It's literally called locate object. Is that not an object?
It has to be an object. What did you say the object was?
It was the fire pit, I think.
Describe
I
or
think the
name an
actual-
object that is familiar to you. You sense the direction.
Yeah, I think it was like if
Is a
you've seen it.
campfire an
It's a fucking
actual object?
Hmm.
No,
Well,
it's a
it can
fucking
be.
idea. It's a
Well,
theoretical fucking equation.
I don't know. It's all. I suppose that's up to the DM, but it does say that it can also be apparel, jewelry, furniture, tools, or weapons.
It's a theoretical equation.
And
Oh shit.
okay, here's the thing: would you qualify a campfire as a tool or a weapon?
Or furniture.
It could furniture. I would have thought would be the closest mark to that. It could also be a weapon. Just depends how you use it.
Describe or name an object that is familiar to you.
The
The
spell
campfire that I slept next to and was damn near killed by.
We
and
we
watched
have
my friend be killed by, and saw a cat get exploded by, and was chased up a tree by wolves near. That thing.
we have already established it's a theoretical equation. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of went up in flames. That's. I mean,
Oh,
the
shit.
thing burned out. There's no real object left to.
What?
One of the stones that we used for the
It's
campfire.
literally
Yeah.
wood surrounded by rocks in flame. It's just no longer in flame. That's like if I shave my head, suddenly I'm a different object. No.
Yes! As someone with bad vision that refuses to wear glasses, yes, you're a different object if you shave your hair.
That's all
God
about this
damn it.
transmutation there.
I mean, let's put it in. You have a glass you are familiar with. You shatter the glass, and you bring shards of that to different locations. If you then do locate object, would you still be able to kind of, because it's no longer the glass
But
you are familiar
that's not
with.
an equivalent. What you're trying to equivalent completely decimating something. That would be like Thanosing the fucking campfire away. What is closer would be if the glass was full of water and suddenly isn't full of water, and I tried scrying the glass. In which case, the same fucking glass.
Don't you kind of clear off? I mean, the wood that makes the campfire burns, and don't you just clear off the campsite once you're done with it?
No, because
Well,
he got killed and we fucked off.
Yeah, I was gonna say we left.
We
quite
never got
quickly,
time,
so
yeah.
Yeah, the stones and stuff would still be there. Like the...
If I do remember, the campfire went out before it burnt out because of the hag,
because of the darkness.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah.
Ah,
and its
right.
environmental thing, whatever it was doing.
Yeah,
All right.
and we sure as hell didn't light it after that.
Very well. You locate object
It's not there. Fuck you.
on the campfire.
That's what happens when you argue with the DM.
I fully expect it to.
How I'm not familiar with. I'm not very fluent in feet and inches and yards and miles and stuff like that.
Right.
1,000 feet. How many? Can somebody quickly calculate for me how many either kilometers or meters that is?
Oh shit. No.
I'll get that.
I'll look it up right now.
It is
Yeah, I'm not
304.8 meters.
304. Yeah.
Okay, so it's like a circle of 3 kilometers.
No, it's a
No.
kilometer, not 1,000.
Oh, sorry,
Kilometers
it's
1,000.
1,000. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
only 300 meters, so
Yeah.
it's 0.3 of a kilometer.
Okay, yeah. So it's not very far. No, sorry. You kind of extend your vision and your mind, somewhat similar to the way.
Nothing
Varen
like
did.
him. I do this.
Ah.
This is a dance, an interpretive dance.
You kind of try to get a feeling of which direction you need to go, but it's you do not pick up anything.
Okay, can Ellie look for a tall tree? Like a tree that looks taller than the rest, and maybe you can get a viewpoint from the top.
Yeah. You find the proper equation and you climb up in it.
Yes, I climbed the tree.
Hold on.
While she's doing that, I'm going to try and contact Who again.
All right. You climb a tree. Throw your athletics.
Can I assist?
You assist her with climbing.
He can
yes,
boost
by
me
giving
up
her
like
a
a
foot
couple
up.
of meters.
Oh yeah, Then
Wait,
she's higher
Ellie,
up. So doesn't need
Before
to
you climb, I've actually been meaning to give you something.
Oh,
If you want to wait a couple of
Hey.
minutes, here, and I give her the Gauntlets of Overstreet.
Mm.
I noticed you were dragged away by the hag because you are tiny and physically weak. With these, you'll still be tiny, but you'll be stronger than these two. Which means if you manage to hit something, you'll do even more damage than Baron.
but I don't like hitting things.
That's okay. It'll help you climb a tree.
Okay,
If you don't want them, I'll keep them.
I will put them on, and expect them to
Alright.
be too big and fall off.
Yeah. And you have to like overextend your fingers to actually try to get them into the finger holes. Like,
Oh, it doesn't like conform to her?
It does, but it will need to attune.
Okay. Yes, you'll need to attune to it.
Oh,
It's
Good
magical items.
So you need to like rest for an hour and kind of focus on it.
Thought attuning was a half hour. Is it an hour?
I thought it was like a short rest, but it could be a half hour.
I will state that the axe has been attuned to Baron since he took his time with it.
The comb's still rattling around the bag.
No,
Seems like
Jim and
that
I
yet.
snatched that, I believe. I think I
Oh,
snatched
did you
that.
take it?
They
think
don't
so.
fit right now. I can maybe try them later again.
Or maybe I didn't.
But
Okay, and that's fine. I'll hold on to them for you.
Thank you.
And just throw it back in the bag and go sit down. Oh, I do have the comb. I'll go sit down somewhere.
okay, with Varen's help, I'll climb the tree.
Yeah. So you get up quite a bit higher than you would usually start climbing. So you will have to you get to roll one athletics roll less than to get to the top.
Yeah.
So roll for athletics.
Yee-ho.
3?
Farron just kind of puts you up, and you kind of put your hands on him, and he, with some effort, he just lifts you up, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I got this." And you, oh shit, and you fall butt first in. Yeah, all right,
Ellie!
you got this.
What are you doing?
You have a really low center of gravity as a gnome. Yeah.
I will hold on to the tree, and I will cast Alter Self kind of quickly.
Okay.
And give myself some claws so I can get
There
a
you go.
better grip.
You
and
start to climb.
and at the same time, I'll kind of give myself some hair because I don't like the feel against leaves against my bald scalp. It was very weird.
All right. With the claws, I'll let you. It's not a hard tree to climb,
No.
so you managed to climb the tree just fine. You call who as you're kind of like concentrating.
Going to it, and then waiting for the to-hoo. No, waiting for the to-hoo. That's it.
Yeah, nobody appears.
God damn it.
Quick question: with that comb, can like as I comb it through my hair, can I comb patterns in? Like, can I make all my hair black except for a pink heart?
Yeah.
Because my hair kind of just goes over to the side. Okay, cool. Then yeah, comb it all black except for a pink heart, and then comb it to the other side and do the same thing with the purple spade.
Cool.
Vince, if he sees this, he'd be like, "Do you think you could make my hair look like a wizard's hat?"
I absolutely can. I'll go after him with the comb.
Yep.
All right.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh,
Paint
the
the hat
color is
on it.
definitely spot on, but it's some funky wizard hat. Ellie, you get to the top of the tree.
Okay, I wanna look around and see if I can make out any directions or distinguishing marks, like if I can see clearings or smoke or the village or
Roll your
something
perception.
useful. Perception is better than athletics, at least. 15.
15. You kind of hang on there to the highest part of the tree, start to look out, and you're like, oh man, this is a fucked up big forest, and you're like, you think you see smoke in the distance, but like far, far away. And not just like one, but like numerous bits of smoke.
Numerous bits of smoke. Check. Village.
Yeah.
I know where to go. I'll make a note of the direction. I am sure I'm seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll start my climb down.
All right, you start to climb down. As you here and there, you leave claw marks on the tree, and you land down on the ground, and you have a reasonably good idea in which direction the smoke went.
Okay.
Or is.
Okay, guys, this way. And I will start walking.
Oh. Jim, now get up and follow.
All right.
Varen's come along too.
So the four of you kind of follow.
Vince is going to walk quite closely behind Varen, sort of almost step for step.
Okay.
Armor.
As you start to move further and further through the forest, and Ellie, you're walking up front. Roll your perception.
17.
17. As you're kind of walking, I think you're walking for about an hour or so, and you kind of look to your left. You think, there's seems to be a somewhat brighter spot of in the forest there. It's not. You see it in the distance. You have like, I mean, it's you already have the idea that it's not as dark as it used to be in this hag area of the forest. It's already becoming a little bit less dark, but you have the feeling that there's more light coming from that direction. But it's not exactly in the line where you think, oh, this is the way to the village.
Guys,
Yes.
if you look
Did you see
that
Vince's
way,
hat?
no, but can you guys look that way for me for a moment and tell me what you see? And I
Look that
point
way.
to the left towards the brightest spot.
What's your each of you passive perception?
17.
14.
10.
17, fuck. Yeah, 14.
Gemini, you clearly see it as well. You're like, yeah, there's more light over there. And Vince, you're like, is there more light over there? You're not 100% sure. And Varen, you're like, fucking trees.
Baron's done with this whole area. He doesn't
Wonder
give a
if I
fuck.
could chop one of those trees down with this axe.
Gemini, do you think that might
Yes.
be the clearing?
Oh, I don't know. Is it in the direction of the town?
No, that's
Does
that
I
way. I
feel-
point straight ahead,
Right.
not left.
Well, I mean, we could check it out, but I don't much see the point in it.
It might be easy to find the village from there because it was kinda. We
we
kinda
did
followed
have
the
a bit
path
of
there.
Fine. Can we leave some sort of marking so that we can find our way back here? Does anybody have just something they can? I don't know. Tape.
If I use, say, firebolt and control flames, could I like burn a mark into a nearby tree?
Yeah. It'll to make a real clear mark, you'll probably have to spend a little effort on it because the fireball is just like one short explosion.
Well-
But with the control flames, yeah, definitely you could keep it there for a bit and make a clear marking on the tree. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that. But, yeah, hold on, 2 seconds then.
All right. Easily done.
Okay.
You're kind of
Okay.
standing there, Varen, with your axe, like, yeah, no, this is much easier. Yeah.
Well, yeah, sure, that works.
Okay, then I guess we can go check it out. Although I'm not sure the Dryad will be too happy about our marking procedure, but
I
what more
was
can be
gonna
done?
say I had a rope.
Onward!
So you walk in the direction of where Ellie and Gemini see more light coming from, and after about 5 minutes or so, you indeed come in this clearing, and it almost immediately becomes clear that this is the clearing that shit happened.
Well then. All right. Well, Baron, I believe it's your turn if you'd like to try to locate one of his objects. Preferably the book, correct?
Sure. I would like to state that I probably could maybe only do this once more.
Yes, myself as well. I
Yes.
figure we'll alternate, and I'll probably do it one more time as well.
So we only have 2 chances then. So
Yes.
you think it would be within range?
Well, if it's within 1,000 feet, then yes. I don't know. I'm not sure how far he ran away from the group.
Vince, could you remember?
Meta game, and I'm counting how many turns before I die.
Oh, that's actually a pretty good one. Then yeah, that would be within 1,000 feet for sure.
Yeah, it would have only been
Like
maybe
less than
100 at
300?
max.
Yeah,
I would have thought.
yeah. That's true.
Okay.
That's a really good point.
Yes.
Call upon the gods of the meta.
Fear. So, are we looking for his hat again?
I would say look for his spell book. That way, he can have all of his
His spell book.
his-
Okay.
Vince-
Certain.
Oh, good. No, sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Then I will try to search for his spell book. I'm gonna try locate object again, same similar way, down and pray.
You do the similar spell, and the effect is similar as you kind of look around to see if you can perceive the spell book. Nope.
Are you sure we're within 1,000 feet? Because it seems that his spellbook is not here.
I don't know.
Some fucking kobold has it, bet you, wee bastard.
It seems to have disappeared then.
We just need to look for the big explosion that happens a day or so from now. Kobold was like, no, what does this one do?
Well then, I
love
suppose
the-
we'll.
No, go ahead.
I suppose we'll take a quick inventory, make sure there's nothing here of that piques our interest, and then we'll head back towards the town. And if we see anything else that looks like maybe a hag or a kobold was playing mischievous things, then I'll do it again. For now, I would like to do an investigation check, I guess, and see, or perception, I don't know, see what's around here. If there's anything new, anything we missed, anything looks different, anything left behind.
Roll your investigation.
Sure.
Can Vince get in on that? And he's looking for the direction that he ran. Ish.
All right. Do you want to assist him, or do you want to roll yourself?
No, roll myself because he's looking for different things. He's looking specifically just for what way did I run.
And can I basically look for the way we would have gotten into the clearing the first time we got there?
Yeah.
Varen just remembered something as well, and he's going to check to see if the feathers were still there.
17.
I like it.
17. Okay.
Filthy 20.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Do I roll investigation or survival?
Roll survival.
Okay.
Same
20.
for me.
30-20.
Yeah.
30, 20. Okay. And you
Is it the same for me? Is it investigation or survival?
no, because you were actually looking for something, not really tracks. Yeah, well, you could say that tracks are also looking for something. But you'll roll your investigation because you're
Investigation.
for a
Right. That
specific
will be
object.
a 12.
Okay. All right. Vince, you have a clear idea of where you kind of left the clearing, and you wouldn't put your life at stake for it, but you're quite sure you actually find your own tracks. You're like, yeah, those might be mine, as you where you leave the clearing. Gemini, you kind of look around and you take your time and just move through the clearing and try to see what you can perceive. There's nothing that truly catches your interest. You do notice that there are a couple of teeth from wolves here, some fangs lying here and there, but other than that, nothing of interest.
I'll take them.
Ellie, you clearly find a spot where you kind of came into the clearing, and you can actually tell that you've come through more or less this direction more than once. So you're like, yeah, this is definitely it. And Varen, you kind of look around and kind of piggybacking off all the information. I'm assuming everybody's kind of sharing with each other. You think you find one feather of this raven that you killed.
So it was still there anyway. That'll do. I'll keep that.
Vince will turn to Gemini and be like, I don't want to go this way on my own again, because it didn't work out well last time, but I'm pretty sure this is the way I ran off. I want to have a quick look and see if there's any shit lying there.
Right, yes. Take Ellie with you, and we'll see if it happens again.
Yeah, you can come. Yeah, come on.
Before we leave, I will find a couple of sticks or something on the ground, and I will make a little hole with my daggers, and I will plant them standing upright, so it's like tiny gate.
Okay.
Marking the path.
Nice. Well then.
There you go. Thousands of years later, as a freeway running.
Still the two sticks.
Yeah.
And Vince has still not found his spellbook.
You head in that direction, Vince. Who goes with you? Does anyone go with you?
Gemini.
Okay. Ellie will also follow.
All right.
I'll pick up the track then too.
Yeah. So all four of you go in that direction.
Yep. Sorry, we've got witnesses. It's all good.
So you kind of start to head in that direction, and as you walk, you see you're getting more and more sure that these are your tracks, because you can tell that these are tracks from somebody running. And what you find now with your clear head and your no longer being frightened of being chased, roll your survival, and you get advantage.
I'm trying to keep track of how far we're walking, so I know if we're in 1,000 feet or not.
Okay.
I was glad I had advantage there, because the first one was a 1. That is a filthy 21.
All right. So you kind of move around, and what you find interesting is kind of supports what you know now, is that you do not see tracks from Ellie chasing you, following these tracks out of the field. And you do, however, after a while, see tracks from the left side, much larger than Ellie's, kind of bare feet chasing you. And you then see a spot. Roll your perception.
That's not bad. That's an 18.
18. There's this moment of as you're kind of looking at a tree, some bushes, and these things are kind of edged into your mind as you were looking at them from the opposite side, kind of looking back at the clearing as you saw what for all purposes looked to you like Ellie kind of charging you and clawing you to death. As you're kind of looking at this, you see something different. Not very far away from it, in the bushes, you see bushes, shrubbery, but there's a pointed tip of a spear kind of sticking out of the bushes.
Go have a look at the spear.
You
Do I notice this?
Roll your perception.
Sure. What the hell is my perception? Oh yeah, that's a disgusting 22.
22. Oh yeah, you notice it too. You're like, what the heck is that?
I'm gonna start walking towards it, preparing to mock viciously.
Uh-huh.
Just
You guys-
regardless of whether there's a threat, just in general.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Oh,
gonna stick
you
close
just
to
kind of walk
Yeah,
to
mock
anyway,
that
so.
spear.
Sorry, what did you say, Varen?
I'm gonna stick close to Vince.
Okay. As it's, I would say, about 60 feet or so away from you. And you actually, as you're kind of getting closer, you actually kind of see it move, twitch a bit.
At
As
that
you're getting
point, I
closer.
will let Varen go in front and sort of point it out to him. Just be like, go check that out.
Varen will go and check it out.
All right.
The
You
axe
move,
out.
you move closer. Roll your perception, Varen.
Perception, that would be 19, I think.
19. You start to get closer. Now you're about 30 feet or so. As you start to hear,
And am I within the same range?
if you're sticking close to Varen,
yeah.
then
Uh,
you probably hear the same as well.
The shield comes out now then.
Can I sneak, follow off them a little bit, but sneak off into the side and sneak in behind the shrubbery as well?
Roll your stealth.
18.
18. Okay, you kind of disappear in the side of the shrubbery.
And I will hold Fluffles really tight.
Okay.
I'm
Varen-
going to. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go first.
Okay, so we're within 30 feet.
Yeah.
Then I am going to cast Minor Illusion right behind the spear and have the sound of something just roaring massively, directly behind it.
All right. You hear this massive roar of something that roars. And
It's like I'm really there.
Oh God, it's really big.
I don't know. I always go to lion, but I don't know if Gemini ever seen a lion or something. But you
Like a
guys
dragon?
see out of the shrubbery this kobold jump as it just jumps forward and starts to run, and it jumps maybe just 5 feet or so in your direction. His eyes are huge, and he just darts to the left and starts to run away.
Varen will give chase.
Yeah, Vince will dive after him as well. And if he gets in range, just rugby tackle him. Just be like,
yeah,
give me my shed.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter whether he has it or not, but
Yeah, Varen's just gonna put an axe in the back of his head if he gets near him. So
Gemini's
don't do that.
Gemini's gonna barrel towards him, screaming in Draconic, "We're friends! We're friends! Stop!"
Well,
all right. As we'll roll for initiative to see who acts first.
Okay.
Oh dear.
It's a good day.
Ooh, dang. Master Kobold.
I rolled 11.
11.
Disgusting 23.
Well, you're getting
That is
yeah,
disgusting.
19.
I was just behind you, 22.
Ooh, holy moly, you guys!
That's right. Dragon Ball.
Cobalt rolled a 30.
Actually, I rolled a natural 19, so I was like, holy moly, this Kobold's fast. But, well, you guys are faster.
That was actually a natural 20 for Vern. Probably the only one he'll ever get.
And it wasn't even to hit something. In fact, there's a point. See, now that we don't want this thing dead, this is going to be the time the fucker hits something.
Yeah.
This like crit just explodes it. Fuck's sake.
Sorry, I only heard high numbers. I didn't register how high. Who was the highest?
Gemini.
Gemini. Okay, so Gemini, you're about 25 feet away from this kobold, and you can tell that he wants to book it. He wants to just get the hell out of here. What do? You just call out and say, "We're friends. We're friends."
I'll run up. I'll grab by his face.
What? Sorry, what?
I'm gonna run to him. Oh, I'm sorry. Fucking, you can't understand me with one cracker in my mouth, but I gotta deal with different accents.
Yeah, exactly.
The fucking ignorant American over here that don't know shit.
Hello.
Shit. Never
This is also
complains
going
not
into
once.
a podcast, so.
Well, see, this is a learning opportunity.
All right, no, so I go up and I grab him by his face, and I'm just gonna yell at him, "Don't run, we're friends." But I'm gonna hold him real tight.
Okay, so you try to grapple him. Okay, roll. You run towards him. Roll an attack.
Okay. With the hell do I add? To
Add your dexterity modifier and your proficiency modifier.
18.
18. Okay, so you grapple him. He will try to escape. So let's see if you can subdue him. Roll your strength.
Sure. Oh God. That's terrible. Don't add anything, huh?
If your strength is 0, then nope.
All right, that's a 6.
A 6. As futile as it is, I rolled a 4 and he has a -2, so he gets only a 2.
2 weaklings. All right.
You're just gently putting your hand to his face, like, no, don't run. And he's like, your grip is iron, I can't move.
It's the strongest man alive.
He's got this image of just like. You knew.
So yeah, he is restrained at this point, and you call out, "Don't run, we're friends."
Yeah, I'm gonna say, "Don't run, we're not going to hurt you."
Okay. I believe Varen is next.
The big fucker in the armor's going to change.
There we go.
Noticing that. Yeah. No,
How could you fold them?
I hold him still.
I finally hit one.
It's not moving. No. Noticing that Gemini was first off the bat and is trying to grapple him. He's going to put the axe away and try and assist him by trying to grapple him to the ground.
Okay. So you run up to him. Roll an attack with advantage.
Okay. With advantage.
Yes.
It's gonna be bad. That's a natural 20.
Natural 20.
That's gonna be bad.
As you you see, for some reason, just laying the hand on the left side of his cheek just prevents this kobold from breaking the massive strength that Gemini has. And as great as his strength is, you just walk up to him and you're like, you grab him by the throat and you just you squash him onto the ground and just.
We're not going to hurt
you have him. And
Tell me what you know.
I'm Batman.
That'll be in Draconic since I know that they speak Draconic.
You call out, tell me what you know. I'm Batman also.
Yes.
I
Sure.
hope so.
Yeah. Sure.
I am the knight. Yeah. So, Vince, Ellie, what did you guys get on initiative?
11.
19.
11 and sorry, Vince?
19.
19. Okay. So the kobold is next, but he is just choking, and he is paralyzed by fear, and he believes that with one snap of his hand, his neck will be broken. So he's just lying there, and he kind of lets go of his spear, and he's just like. And so your turn, Vince.
Yeah. Vince will catch up and sort of stand beside the ordeal that's happening to this kobold.
Yeah. Thinking about it, by the way, we can just go out of initiative because the guy is subdued and he is never going to break out of that. So he's just like...
Vince will run up anyway and be like, can one of you two ask him if he's seen my shit?
I'll cast Mage Hand and start poking it in the face and just say, tell us!
We're gonna change. Tell me.
No question whatsoever. Just tell us.
Varen will dial it back a bit, but he will probably use his intimidating presence to actually start questioning him. So he's like, do you know where this guy's stuff is? You know, like a wizard hat, robes, book, anything like that?
Did you tell him about the book and the hat?
There's also a stick. It's a shiny stick. It's not like your stick.
Oh, yes, and he has a stick as well. It's not a pointy stick.
Are you still crushing his windpipe, or are you...
No, he'll sort of release the pressure a little bit, so he will.
Friends, the stuff I got. Bring to mommy.
Who's mommy?
Yes.
Mommy, powerful magic.
Is that the was she like a older woman with like
did she have
hag-like features?
A friend with very colorful hair.
Yes.
Oh yes, that bitch dead.
Yes, she's long gone.
Dead.
Oh yes, we killed mommy. Where's our stuff?
You see him smile.
Oh, good job.
Good. Now give us our stuff back.
Do you know where she puts the stuff? Could you show us?
No.
Yes, you could.
Yes, you could.
No.
How do you feel about your kneecaps?
I like kneecaps.
Yes. Yes. If you want to continue liking your kneecaps, you will show us.
How would you like them? From afar.
Can't show you, things gone.
What does that mean?
Yes.
Mama put in pot. Make breaky and put in pot.
Ew.
That's unfortunate.
Vince is like, has he seen my stuff? Where's my shit?
Oh, it appears that the hag put all your stuff in the slime pot, and now the slime creature is probably infused with all of your things, so we're never going to get it back.
You see the kobold spear?
You see the kobold like smiling really evilly at you, like you're like that little. This Vince, you guys knowing a bit of Draconic. This is just very submissive behavior, but to you, Vince, it kind of looks like he's just smiling at your misfortune, like fuck you.
Yep. Someone's gonna get fucked. I fireballed him in the face.
You do. Varen is still holding him, man.
Guy aim for the forehead. Doesn't have splash damage, be alright.
Okay, this is gonna go well. He didn't learn from the cat the last time.
Well, we know it's not an illusion.
This is going to be the roll fluffles, isn't it?
Yep.
Ellie, what do you do? By the way, you were kind of hiding.
Yeah.
Are you observing this from afar, or what are you doing?
I probably would have looked closer, and I would probably have checked that he wasn't alone, or if he wasn't alone, and just like continue sneaking through the bushes, like not really trusting that he's the only kobold.
Roll your perception.
16.
16. As they seem very focused on this one kobold, you are kind of looking around, and as you do, you see an acorn like fall to the ground. You look up, and you see a kobold with batted kind of wings sitting there in a tree, observing all of this. You cast a firebolt, Vince?
Well, actually, do you know what he wouldn't? Do you know what he would do? He'd rely on Old Faithful. You know, he's going to punch him square in the face, and I mean a proper punch. Like he's not going to punch him from standing. He's going to sort of throw his whole weight behind it and get himself so that he's like one hand on the ground and properly straight into his schnoz.
All right. No, this is something that you'll need to get close to. So.
Yeah,
True Dragon Blooded will see you kind of walking up to him and like.
I see him coming towards him, aggressively. Right.
Yeah.
Well, Varen will do a thing which I know from like martial arts, was basically you sort of scooch up and put your knee on their chest to open his face.
Sorry, I'm not a
it's
martial
sort of
artist.
like I would have been holding him by the throat. So basically, what I do is I put my knee on his chest and then just sort of like scooch up, so it keeps him held to the ground.
Yeah.
And it opens it up for Vince to do it.
Basically, he's letting me do it.
Oh, okay.
On his leg.
There you go. Okay, so is your intent, Vince, to kill or just to really fuck this guy up?
It's a good question. He's just going to fucking punch him. I don't think he's putting that much thought into it.
Yeah,
all right.
He's just pissed.
So you bring down your fist, you hit him with no problem whatsoever, and you hear a crack as you kind of hit his face.
I was expecting a crit fail and like chin myself or something.
No. What's your strength modifier?
+3.
+3. Ooh, you see the side of his face like kind of like dent in, and here we are. You hear him kind of scream.
Well then.
Ellie,
that out of your system.
Yes.
You will see this other kobold that's sitting up in the tree. His mouth just goes like, as he just flies off.
As he flies off, can I cast? Let's do the thing. It doesn't say that, but I'm just gonna cast a magic missile at that thing.
All right.
And who said this was going to be a shopping episode?
Yeah.
At level
a murder
2.
episode.
Yeah. I will cast magic missile at level 2.
All right.
Oh, really fuck him up.
Yeah, I'm gonna
gesture
fuck
your
him up.
hands and release your magic towards him.
Since it's Verbrand's magic, I'm basically holding the cat in one hand and do the magic with the other hand, and I just like toss this giant golden dart with my other hand. So I cast 4 darts.
All right. Gemini, roll your perception, please.
Sure. Dirty 23. Yeah.
Uh, 11 damage.
11 damage. Okay, so your magic missiles kind of extend from your hand, and are they actual actual bolts, or are they just beams of light?
No, there will be like tiny, like tiny squares, but they leave like a golden streak behind them. So they
Okay,
are
there you
like
go.
something maybe yay big each in total if you look at the streak as well, and it's like really like golden like.
Okay, so they kind of you release your magic and you see these bolts of energy just first kind of pierce through the kind of thin skin that's between his wings, and you think like, huh? Did it just miss? But then they kind of just arc around and just clash into his chest, and you see the kobold just collapse to the ground.
And I will call out, "Got one!" and
Very good, Ellie. Very good.
and run after it.
So condescending. I was holding one here with just my might.
Oh, I rolled a 23, by the way. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm as we speak typing towards you what you noticed.
Special things.
Hidden.
There we go. Okay, so you have punched this kobold in his face, and you see like blood pouring out of his eye. It's still alive, but it is fucked up.
Oh,
Should we put it out of his misery?
no. It's going to...
Vince stands up and sort of like kicks dirt at it. It's like, fuck it, leave him.
Hold on.
No, not yet.
What's your name?
Vince. Hi.
No, the kobold. You can't understand. It's draconic.
Oh, yeah.
Draconic.
You look at it, and this side of his face has been kind of punched in, and you see its jaw is kind of dislocated, and it just looks at you. And it tries to talk, but it can't.
Well, this is unfortunate. Should we maybe fix this problem?
I don't know.
I mean, I can fix it. I didn't want to, but I can fix it.
It's up to you. It might be able to lead us to something, but either way, it won't lead us to Vince's belongings. Those are in the slime creature.
Could it really be more useful other than leading us to the other kobolds?
I don't know. It seemed pleased that the hag was murdered, so that's possible. That it maybe didn't want to be under her rule any longer. I'm certain there's more of them.
If I do remember, there was kobolds we were looking for, wasn't there?
Well, there were kobolds we fought and murdered.
Hmm.
And there were some in the forest when Grimhook chased them. Yes, so I just assume they're like her little helpers.
Well, as you would say, are we getting paid to do it?
That is the question.
So, do we really need him?
Well, I mean, I don't know if we need to kill him. Doesn't matter to me one way or the other.
If we don't, it may draw more kobolds.
Oh no. Look at his face. That's one punch from a wizard. That's a wizard.
True, actually. But then again, Vince is pretty strong.
Oh, yes. This is true. But still.
Just don't tell him that.
A damn near naked wizard collapsed this thing's skull. This is like, how many third graders do you think you could kill?
Indeed. They are quite weak.
I don't.
Third graders or kobolds?
Finally, so.
Yes.
What's their CR rating?
I say we just leave. I would like to get back to the town. Maybe purchase some items, see if we can find Vince a new spell book that way. And also, I very much would like a drink.
That's not a bad idea.
Are you saying that in Draconic still or in Common?
Yeah, this is all in Draconic.
Just have our own little shit here.
So Vern will sort of like get up off him. He's free to move wherever he likes. Before he does that, actually, you see his spear.
Yeah, it's lying not that far away from him. It kind of rolled away from his hand.
Would the spear? It's probably smaller than quarterstaff, is it?
Yeah.
Is it goblin sized? Kobold sized?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do it anyway. Is he carrying anything else with him, like a shield or?
Yeah, he has a small shield, but it's strapped to his back. But it's just some wood kind of tied together.
Probably
nothing
just
really to write home about.
Yeah, no, it would be too difficult to sort of take off as he's lying down. I'm just gonna grab his spear and like give it to Vince and say like, yeah, it's not much of a replacement, but it's something.
It's a pokey stick.
I believe we already got a quarterstaff from somebody, right?
I can give it to him anyway. It's a pointy stick, just in case he wants it, you know.
Yeah,
let's get all from
I can throw it at something.
Or sticky pointed.
Yeah, it's kind of javelin size to you, so yeah, you could probably try. But it's a kind of you would consider it an improvised weapon because it's just a long stick with a sharp stone tied to it.
Better than nothing, I suppose.
Before I've got Grimhook's battle axe in the bag of holding, you know. So
yeah. You are pretty strong too, but I don't think are you proficient with that sort of weapon?
I am not, and I believe it's martial as well, so a disadvantage. I would need to learn how to use it.
Yeah, you never know. Varen might teach you.
Yeah,
I was thinking that, but I needed to chat to the DM to see what way that works about learning how to use those weapons.
Yep. Well, after doing that, Vern will turn around to Gemini and actually like sort of pat him on the back and go, "It seems that maybe my presence is rubbing off on you. You don't want to kill everything in sight for once."
Oh, I'm not the one who wants to kill everything in sight. I just want to kill the things that irritate me. Everything else I'd like to steal from. Did he have anything of use?
No, it was all wood and very little clothing.
Oh, well. Goodbye. Sorry about your face. And just start walking away.
What do you do in the meantime, Ellie? You brought down this flying kobold.
I am investigating it.
All right. You kind of look at it. Yeah, it's definitely dead. You see 3 holes in its chest, and as you kind of look at it, it was carrying with it a short bow, also kind of self-made, and some arrows. You see about 8 arrows in a small quiver.
Anything else?
Nope, that's about it. There's a dirty loincloth that he has around his hip.
You.
Take the loincloth.
No.
That's it.
I will look at the wings. Did it have wings?
Yeah. This one definitely had wings. You kind of lift it, and it looks like kind of like the wing of a bat.
I will investigate the wing and like.
As you kind of holding it, you see Fluffles kind of tapping its paw against it.
And like just check the construction and like look at muscles and like how does this work and how big are they? Like. And completely forget that things were actually kind of dangerous-ish, or could have been, and be like, these are quite big. And like
so
lay them
guys,
out and sketch them up, and completely forget about the situation over there.
Exactly. As you guys are kind of done investigating this kobold, you kind of go like, where's Ellie? And you kind of look deeper into the forest, and you just see her kind of pulling out wings and holding them up and just like sketching a bit.
Ellie, what? Why is that?
Soon.
Okay, we're leaving.
Okay.
We should. Okay. Good. Yes.
Yeah, I'll be right there. She joins them and she's stunned. Unless someone interrupts her.
So, Vince, Did that relieve some stress?
No.
No.
Yeah.
It's
Violence
unfortunate.
rarely
Yeah.
does. Yes.
That your
Sort of
stuff is
violence.
apparently became a giant goo ball now. So
Yes.
He just sort of scratches his head and he goes, right, let's go back to the town, see if I can gather up some stuff, and then, I don't know, we'll go and kick the shit out of that goo thing. Might not get any of my stuff back, but it'll make me feel better.
That sounds
Yes.
perfectly reasonable. I say first we get you a very strong drink.
All
I
right.
second that.
So-
And then sort of
yeah.
lights his pipe again.
You guys start to travel back towards the village. I don't fully recall how long you guys were already traveling before you got here. Was it more than a day?
I think it was 2 days. I
Okay.
think we took a long rest on the road
Was it
after we
days?
fought the skeletons and stuff.
I thought it was
Yeah.
one day.
Skeletons.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
right.
I thought the
No.
clearing was where we stopped.
Yeah, the clearing was the
Oh,
second
it might have been.
stop, right?
Because we fought the skeletons and shit, 'cause we came across them first. Vince
But then
got
we
the shit
camped
kicked
there.
out of him.
Yeah, we camped there to
Because
rest.
Baron did the ritual.
Did
He
we?
did the burial rites.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yes, that's right. We did rest there. Yeah.
Yeah.
okay. So you guys travel back towards the village. We'll take a little time jump where you guys just head back towards the village. Is there anything you guys want to do during your travels towards the village?
Mm, yes.
Take a little look at the skeleton circle, see if anything changed there. That's about it.
Just passing by that.
I want to ask Gemini about what he looted from the skeleton circle.
Oh.
Because he picked something up there.
Vern will
And-
probably check the graves.
And Ellie probably totally forgot about it until they actually get back to the skeleton circle. Like, oh yeah.
No, they seem quiet and peaceful, and
Oh, then.
nothing appeared to have changed.
No more
Excellent.
resurrection, anyway.
Very good. Yes.
Gemini,
then. Yes.
what was so important?
Oh, well, getting vengeance for Vince. That's why we fought the
No.
hag in the first place.
No. Before that, when we were here last time, you were like
When we were
diving.
here?
Yeah, you do.
Oh,
You do like
I
right
would
into
say-
the dead things, and
Oh,
you got
well-
something. What was it?
well, I went after one of the what would you call those? The undead, I suppose. And I thought one had something that belonged to me. So I was a little upset. You see, thieves don't like being stolen from, sort of a thing. So I saw it. I decided to try and retrieve it. Sadly, I was mistaken.
Do I believe him? Can I insight check him? Did I not actually
Sure.
see him take something?
You might have. I don't recall, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't recall.
Trying to see
I
if
don't think so, because you're not like fucking surrounded by you grabbed
Yeah,
it.
I was.
Yeah, but I
Um,
remember that I saw something that was like a thing I.
Vern specifically remembers that Genmai ran into the hordes to try and get something. Well, I'm not sure if he's seen what it was, but I know it was the letter you were looking for. So
Yeah, because I think you said whenever you were going in that you were getting something, at least a Vern. But yeah, I don't know. I remember you were surrounded by them. I know
don't
Vince
know.
was in the fucking far back throwing
yeah.
firebolts at them.
Mm.
Like he didn't see shit.
I want to insight check him anyway. I didn't write
Go
this
ahead.
down. Why don't I write the important stuff down? I'm disappointed now.
Hmm.
5.
5.
Oh. Okay. Oh my god! I was gonna say unless it's a natural. It was a natural one. Oh, that's impressive. That is super impressive. No,
The
yeah,
dice have spoken.
yeah. Gemini's definitely lying for sure.
Ellie will make a note of this, that he's lying. But
Did you have the letter in your hand while you were saying that?
You mean this letter? No, I didn't want this letter. Yeah.
Brushing the dead person off.
and,
Like, no.
she's just gonna tuck this information away until later and bring it up again at a different time.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
I think Vern's away looking at the graves anyway, so.
Very well. So you guys rest, travel, and return to lovely Elves Brook.
Will that be a second long rest then? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Ooh. Cool.
So we're just there now.
So we took
Okay.
2 long rests after the hag to get back to the
Yeah.
village. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna start keeping track because this was annoying to not know.
As soon as we walk through the gates, I'm going to just like burst through like I'm here.
All right.
There he is.
As you kind of approach the town, you can tell from a distance, something's going on. You see there are more torches than usual outside, and there seems to be decorations of sort, flowers hanging and stuff like that.
They're celebrating my arrival. Yes.
What time is it, sorry?
It's probably around 4 in the afternoon as you return.
Vince will come up behind Gemini and be like, yeah, that's definitely what it is. You said you might have someone who could help me with some shit.
Yes, I did. I did say that. Let's get a drink. Just start walking towards the Big Toe Tavern.
Vince just like, all right, yeah, sure. You're buying.
As
Don't
you guys
think I have
walk
much choice.
into the town, you see that this decoration is pretty much everywhere, and people are busy standing on the famous ladders that this town is known for, kind of hanging up decorations and stuff.
Are they using the multi-purpose crowbars to hang that with?
Definitely. You see crates
also
there,
be
they just
yeah.
use the crowbars to open them and take things out, climb the ladder. So it's super efficient here.
Beautiful. A single tear runs down Vince's cheek.
Yeah, so it's quite busy. You see a lot of people on the street, and I wouldn't say that you guys are like really close to the guards and stuff here, but you've definitely been through something together, and you've seen quite a few of them. But you see a couple of new faces walking around here, and they don't really pay much attention to you. They just kind of assist here and there with the bringing of supplies and helping people put things up. You head towards the Big Toe Tavern?
Yes, I believe so.
All right. So you guys enter there, and it's busy. It's bustling. There's a lot of people there and talking, and well, yeah, it's nice.
I'll just walk right in like I own the place.
Mm-hmm.
Margaret! Just wave.
As he looks up, and you see his eyes kind of widen. As he kind of looks, his head kind of tilts and tries to look past you, and he just dives under the bar.
He dives under the bar.
Yeah, he's like.
I'll just stride right up to the bar and look over it. Hello, Morgan.
Ellie, do you want to take this one?
Is she with you?
Oh, that's right. This should be fun.
I'm just gonna slowly walk up to the bar, basically probably stand beneath it so he can't see me and just listen into the conversation.
Oh, this
Vince will walk up behind him and be like, Morgan, is the cat about? Ellie's looking at...
kind of rises up from behind the bar, and the bar is human size, so it kind of gets to here. So he's just like this, almost this floating head above the bar, and and Ellie is actually still a bit shorter than he is, so the bar kind of comes to here, so he doesn't really see her immediately. He's like, yeah, the little fluffy cat, he ran away.
Oh yes, no, we found him. He was in the forest with us. Yes, he ran up into a tree and exploded and died. Anyways, we're going to need.
Well, in your protection, right? The cat was with you.
Well, we're not quite sure how it got there. It's the strangest damn thing. Allie was so upset she killed Vince, which is why he needs 2 beers. The rest of us need 1. And I'll slide over a silver and go sit down.
Vince will be like, I tell you what, I'll take the heat for everything that happened, as long as we get free drinks for the rest of the evening.
I hear that and grab my silver back. Just immediately.
I'll deal with Ellie. I'll do that for you, as long as we get free drinks.
Deal.
Cool. Agreed. The cat's alive. Cheers. No, take the drinks. And I'll sort of gesture to where Ellie's standing.
All right, so you guys kind of walk away. You see him kind of looking and turning around. You want another beer? Yeah. That's fine. As he starts to pour something and now and then throws a glance in your direction. You kind of look around. The tables are quite full. You see there's an old man sitting at a table by himself. And but other than that, the tables are kind of stuffed.
Oh, Ellie will head over to the old man and just sit down at the same table and go, "Hi, where's your friends?"
They're all dead.
He froze. Why is he frozen?
Brilliant.
Oh, he's back.
Sorry?
Where's your friends?
Who are you?
I'm Ellie. Who are you?
Ellie? Oh, you're Barbara's little girl. Yeah, that's good to see you. Oh, how are you?
You found Mr.
Kinda
I'm good.
brings his hand towards you, and he kind of pats you on your head.
You've grown not as much as I expected, really, but you look exactly like I remember.
Does Vince hear any of this?
So yeah.
So Vince will whisper, "Just go along with it. They're the only seats left." And he'll sit down and be like, "Oh, hey, how are you?" And sort of wave to Gemini.
He's my friend. Can you also see?
Yeah, we're friends.
Is this your boyfriend, Ellie? He seems a little old for you.
No, just a friend.
Yeah.
Can you also
had a big
see
lover's tiff not that long ago.
I don't recall. Sorry. But it's good to see you. Where's your mom?
Home?
What? You mean you came all the way here by yourself?
Don't tell her. It's an adventure.
Well, now hold on a minute. You can't just be traveling all the way over here. Why are you here?
Why are you here?
Valid counterpoint.
I live here.
She was obviously coming to visit you.
But are you the one looking after her? A girl her age can't be traveling by herself.
No, all of us are, and sort of gesture to Gemini, and if Varen is anywhere. You could try and hide your word fucking plate mail.
Varen's still up at the bar looking at
big shiny one.
Gemini went off to look for Kate.
Nah.
And it's good to see you. I suppose you want a place to stay.
No, we got a place to stay.
Oh. Oh. That's good. Well, then be a dear and get your uncle a new drink.
He kind of pushes his cup towards you.
Good man.
I will feel very confused, but I will take the drink and I will walk up to the bar and try to get a word with Morgan.
All right.
While Ellie's walking away, Vernal or Vince will be like, "Get us another one as well, will you?"
I only got one hand. Holding Fluffles in the other.
That's what they're for. You tuck it in there.
No.
Have you ever been to a bar?
Specifically for beer, yes.
Yeah, that is what the baby Jesus made them for, or the baby Kelton for, I suppose, in this world.
You remain at the bar, Farron?
Yes, he's going to strike up a conversation with Mogren. Hand comes down the table. He's like, Mogren.
Yeah.
First, could you get me, actually, what do you have on the list today? Do you have anything new?
No.
What about wines, actually?
I'm waiting for a shipment, actually. It should be here tomorrow.
Okay, that'll do. Just get me, I can't remember what I traded last time, but get me the house beer or something, was it?
It's fine. He pours you one. There you go.
Thank you.
Where have you guys been off to? Did you kill the giant? You went to kill the giant, didn't you?
Yep, that happened. That's why we're all drinking. That was an ordeal.
You killed it.
Are paladins allowed to lie?
Well, I couldn't really say it was a giant per se. I think people maybe thought it was a giant.
On the crowd, you hear Gemini, and then we killed a giant.
Oh dear. So, I wouldn't say
his mum.
I wouldn't say it was a giant, Mogren. It was something much worse. Much, much worse.
A little old lady.
He kind of puts his arms on the bar. Do tell.
Do tell. Well, from what we could figure out, it was from one of our dear friends who.
Hold up a minute. He's telling a story. I'll get to you in a minute.
From one of our dear friends who died during the battle. He was a dwarf of sorts. Another
what?
of sorts.
Died?
Yes, we met up with him in the forest. He was much like me, a worshipper of Killenvor.
Oh.
Yes, it was a tough battle, so it was. We nearly lost Vince. He practically died once. So
you hear from the corner, and then I died. Yes, I will take another drink, thank you.
It was an epic tale of battles against the shadows, since we fought against something that was neither hag nor shadow. It was hard to explain. It was a shadow beast of sorts.
You don't say.
And then I suppose there was a giant, actually, when I think about it. She had what she called
your beer.
A child or something. She called it by. It looked like an ogre or sort of giant sorts, but it had colored hair. It was really weird. I can't really explain this any better, but yeah, we had a tough fight against those. People nearly died, and yeah, we succeeded, I suppose.
Good job. I can't wait for. He kind of points at Gemini in the distance. Can't wait for your colorful friend to tell it.
Oh, it will be epic of sorts. Yes.
I'd imagine, yeah.
And talking of epic of sorts, what is actually going on in the town at the moment? It looks like you're celebrating something.
Oh well, not yet. We're awaiting the arrival of the purple caravan.
What's
purple
the purple caravan?
Oops.
Ellie comes up.
Hello, Ellie.
Great timing. So good.
Yes,
Oh.
indeed.
They arrive every year or every 2 years. Kind of depends, but they send a messenger out when they do. It's a big carnival.
Right.
Traveling
Shops
people.
and
Yeah. They
all
bring lots of
sorts.
stuff.
Yes, interesting. Does it start tomorrow?
No, 2 days. 2 days.
2 days. Interesting. Another question as well. Is the blacksmith still open at this time?
Oh, if she is, she's gonna close pretty soon. But if you hurry, you might catch her.
Indeed, I will see you in a bit, Mugren. Downs the pint, puts the glass on the table, and heads out the door towards the blacksmith.
All right. Kind of looks at you, Ellie. How is he?
Flaffles? I will like look in, probably carrying him around like inside my coat, kinda.
Oh, you see, like this thick dwarven finger kind of moving towards Fluffles, and he just scratches.
What did you do to him?
Nothing. I was really nice to him. He missed you, I guess.
What a surprise! The cat's an asshole.
I will just look at Morgan for a moment. Anyway, I'm supposed to have another beer. Also, who's that man and who's Barbara? I will point at the old drunk man.
Oh, pay him no mind.
By this point, I'll have like finished my second beer. I'll have my arm around him. We start going,
His candle died out a couple of years back. He no longer has a full deck, if you take my meaning.
Oh, okay.
Here you go. Kind of hands the drinks to you. What do you do, Gemini?
I'm looking for Cade.
For Kate?
Cade.
Oh, Cade.
Apple.
Sorry, yeah.
Whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah. No, you see him. He's kind of walking around, taking orders. They both him and Callie seem busy.
I'll walk right up. Tiny.
Hey, but this is the ugliest man alive.
Oh, shut up! You know I'm beautiful. Can I speak to you for a moment?
He stands there with like 2 trays, and he's like, "Yeah, sure. What the fuck? I don't have anything to do."
Fantastic! I'll pull him along, like to a more secluded area. And I'll say in Thieves' Cant, like when we get somewhere nice and secluded, there was a bit of an issue when we went out to go fight the giant. You see, Vince, the large man over there with barely any clothing, he died. And he's a wizard.
I have to take it back. Second ugliest man.
Fair enough. So he's missing his spell book. Now, I know the blacksmith doesn't do any enchanting or anything of that nature, but is there any place around here where we'd be able to maybe get some sort of enchanted paper and ink, things to help him rebuild what he has lost?
In Elfsbrook?
Yes.
Nah, I don't think so. Oh, I mean, I could have some shipped here, but that'll take ages and be costly. But the Purple Caravan is coming in, and you have a pretty good chance that they might have some.
What's that?
Seriously?
Wait, would I know what that is? Oh, I think
roll your history. Yeah.
Gemini, I don't know. Yeah, it's a 6.
A 6. You heard about the Purple Caravan, probably. You heard it mentioned, but you've never seen them or anything.
Yes, I've heard tell of it, but I don't think I've ever encountered it. What is it exactly?
Oh, it's kind of like a group of travelers kind of stick together, and they just go from place to place and bring a lot of stuff, make a party, and yeah.
So somewhat like a traveling circus, or
kind of, but they're not just circus. They're also tinkerers and stuff that kind of travel along, and there's also a couple of shopkeepers who kind of travel along, and they just sell stuff.
They have wares. When will they be here?
As far as I can tell, I think about 2 days from now.
2 days.
Yeah,
That's not bad.
should be good.
Excellent. And are there any mischievous types? Do we have to worry about theft or murder from them?
In generally, no. I do know there's definitely, well, a couple of people that know how to get ahead in life. He kind of winks at you, and
Tap the
but
badge.
yeah, they usually don't make too much of trouble. They live by good reputation, so they usually kind of make sure that the positive outweighs the negative.
Very well. Thank you very much for the information.
You're welcome, buddy.
And I'll just kind of give him a salute and go back to the bar to refill my beer.
Oh, whoa.
Yes.
I gave you this information. I expect you to perform tonight.
Absolutely.
There you go. He grabs two of the trays and starts back on his work.
Cool. Yeah. You can go back to my beer.
All right. Vince, you're kind of with this man.
Oh yeah, gathering as many of the general people as I can around. We're like sitting there saying, like, have you heard about the big strong man? He lives in a caravan, and generally, just getting drunk.
There you go. So beer is flowing freely, especially because it's apparently free tonight for you. And you, Varen, go outside. It's still quite light outside. It's you would say it's around 5-ish at this time.
I will be heading towards the blacksmith, which I had purchased off before.
Yep. You head towards the blacksmith, and you see there's still light burning inside, and there's just a lot of smoke coming from the chimney.
I'll head up and see if I can't remember the woman's name, if she's still working. What was it?
Gauntlets.
Gauntlets, are you still there?
You see this woman kind of pop up her head, and she, you're alive. She kind of.
I certainly am. Yes.
Walks towards you and extends her hand towards you.
It's lovely to see you again. How's the work going?
Busy, but well, can't complain.
Yes.
No attacks since you guys left.
That's good.
I'm surprised to see you back.
Yes. Well, fighting a giant will do that to you. Yes. It's a long story. Maybe you'll hear of it tonight if you come over to the Tavern Inn. I'm sure Jem and I will be more than happy to spin a tale for you.
She kind of looks at you. Are you asking me out?
Well, hey.
I can't remember what race she is. Was she human?
She's dwarven.
Damn, that matters.
I don't know. I couldn't remember which
racist.
Actually, good question. Because he has interacted with Grimhook. And that's a no.
Don't be thinking while you're doing this.
Yeah.
That's worrying.
No, it's Grimhook would probably been the first time he ever interacted with dwarves.
No, you've spoken to her before. You've spoken to.
Oh well, you've spoken to her. Yeah.
Morgan is also a dwarf, and she's a dwarf. So.
No. Sorry. I'm not that kind of person.
Fair enough.
Although I did meet a dwarf along the road. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
Well, congratulations.
Grimhook.
We're always really good company.
Grimhook. He was more ecstatic side of dwarven kind, I suppose you could say. But the poor man isn't with us anymore. He
racist.
What?
He sadly perished during the battle.
What? How? Wait, where's his body?
He unfortunately there is no body. Let me explain. During the fight with the so-called giant, we didn't just fight a giant. It was like a giant-like creature and a hag, and a very nasty hag at that. I don't know if you've met Vince. You know, a wizard-type fellow.
Have you ever met each other? I don't think so, right?
No.
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 He almost perished himself. We thought he was dead. Until we done something in the lair. Well, Grimhook done something apparently. He touched some sort of magical stone which caused him to disappear into ash. Very, very strange.
Oh no.
And then we found Vince in the ground. All I could say was magic is bloody crazy.
Did you bring the ash?
I believe
Yes, actually, it's in the
Jim
bag
and I
of holding.
actually might have saved some of the ash and its goods and stuff. Yes.
That's good to hear.
Fucking 2000 IQ there.
Did you know, Jim Hook?
No, I can't say I did. Why? Do all dragon-bloodeds know each other?
Yes.
No, it just you seemed a bit concerned. I thought you maybe knew him.
Well, of course I'm concerned. He is a living being, is he not?
Oh no, it's
Not
okay.
anymore.
Not well.
Was.
Sorry to say, not with us anymore. But
Yes. No. I mean.
is there anything we should do? I'm trying to be courteous. With his ashes.
Yes. We should bring the ashes to Lady Tachan and see that he gets the proper burial rites.
Sorry, I just say you cut back to the to the bar. Vince is just there in the bag of holding, just finds this powder. He's like,
Dear, no.
he's like, oh, Calvert. Sorry, what? Sorry.
Too nice. Fuck it, pass me some.
Oh Jesus, no!
Oh my goodness.
I hope that's not canon. Anyway, I suppose I will sort that out with Lady Chan. I will have to visit her some point here very soon. There's other things I need to get sorted myself. But yes, I come back and I was looking for the commission I got you to do.
Yeah, I got it for you. She hands you the axes.
All right. I'm trying to remember. Was it a bandolier for the axes and 3 axes?
Yeah.
Ah, yes. Is it fine craftsmanship? I would like to have a look at them.
You try to appraise them. Roll your intelligence.
Intelligence, that's not going to be great.
Or you could also do perception, but intelligence is the difficulty will be a bit lower.
It's only a 6 for intelligence.
Yeah.
They look sharp.
Shiny.
It looks, yeah.
These...
You kind of pull the buckle and like, yeah, it doesn't let go. Yeah, it should be sturdy.
Yeah, just sort of like test it, make sure it's battle worthy, and you know.
As you're kind of really like testing it, you can tell from her face. I don't know if how much you're concerned with these things, but you can kind of see her like in the beginning. She's like, okay, and then you're like testing it and stuff, and you see that her face becomes like almost offended, like. You're right.
Oh no, sorry. I was just making sure. They do look quite nice, quite well craftsmanship actually. I was just making sure that there was a few creatures we fought there recently. A gelatinous cube, if you've ever seen one.
No, they have.
They tend to eat gear. So I was just making sure your gear is up to standards, and it definitely is. Yes, it'll do.
Glad to hear it.
Thank you very much for doing that for me. It will come in very handy for slaying many more giants. I hope not.
All right.
Well, sorry, I'm still cutting back to the bar in my head. So.
I'm doing the same thing.
Anything interesting and new in the blacksmith?
Working hard, really. Nothing new. Just mostly helping people decorate and getting some things. There's a couple of ladders that have been breaking down, and those crowbars, well, they don't make themselves, so.
Oh yes, I hear they're very useful.
They are. I always say, don't leave home without them.
I always have one myself. Look.
There you go.
Anyway, did you ever catch tell of the black making of weapons? No.
The black making of weapons?
Yes, it's something that we Kellenvor priests and paladins used to do with our weapons, is dye them in black. Well, it's more like tar, but
Won't they chip?
It's a. I don't know the process completely. I wasn't actually a blacksmith, but they had some sort of technique to like dye their weapons black so that they were darkened, like darkened steel and.
Can't say I heard of it. No, but
No.
I'll be sure to write a letter to my master about it. Perhaps he's heard about it.
I do want to find out more about the process because it's basically a part of my culture.
Then why don't you know?
I only helped. I didn't forge the weapons.
In the wind, because you're a little bitch.
Perhaps
Fair
it's something I will I'll look into at some stage.
All right.
Thanks anyway. I'll hopefully catch you later at the inn, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. She kind of looks expectingly at you.
Sorry, did I forget to pay?
No, you paid in advance.
Okay. Is there something else I'm missing?
I kind of lended you something. I would like to know how it's doing. Am I getting it back?
You lent me something.
Oh.
It has slipped my mind actually. What was it you lent me?
Wow.
Shit, Vince had that, did he not?
Aha!
And she looks a bit taken aback by your remark. The box holding the healing potions.
Did Vince have those?
Because there were healing potions and all magical. You were like, "Here, magic man."
Yeah.
I believe very close to your exact words as well.
I don't even know where they went, to tell you the truth. I know I could. I know that Vince tried to appraise them. Did he not?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you gave them to him.
But did I say that you attached them to the bottom of my backpack, or did I give them to Vince?
Well,
I thought you
someone
gave
attached
them to
them to the
Vince.
bottom of the backpack.
Yeah, did you give them to Vince and Vince strapped them? Because remember we had the joke that I had the big case of all of the brain juice and then the little case of the things.
Yeah,
with like a top and bottom thing going.
I'm going to have to talk to Vince about that.
Vince? What do you mean?
I believe Vince may have had them.
I lended them to you.
Yes, indeed. But because we were traveling as a party, we thought it would be a good idea to give it to someone who was not armored and less prone to be dying, but unfortunately that nearly happened to him.
That's a point. I forgot I had those fucking
She
healing potions in my inventory.
She kind of puts her hands in her sides, and she says, "Let me get this straight. I lend you an important heritage from my family, and you just give it to somebody else?"
Well, he was someone I trusted. But
I don't care if you trust him. I lended it to you.
This is true. I don't know how I can repay you.
Well, you can get it back from me. Go talk to your friend.
Yes, I will chase this up to see if I can return this. It's much too haste if I can.
Very well. She turns around and walks back more to the smithing area. You were kind of meeting each other in the store a bit. Turns around. She has like this tight turn, and her like thick reddish kind of inbraided ponytail just kind of whips back as she just walks back into the smithing.
Varen with a very, very sour look on his face, obviously. Doesn't really say much more and turns back to the inn.
All right. You return to the inn, and there seems to be the party level is constantly rising in this inn, and people seem to already kind of are in a festive mood. And I'm assuming all three of the party members that are still there are partaking, unless you want to do something else.
Oh, hell yeah.
Gemini's not.
Yeah, go on. You go first.
Oh, Gemini's just knocking back drinks and regaling everyone with the story of what happened. His version of the story.
With some white powdered Grimhook underneath.
Ellie wouldn't drink too much.
Okay. All right. So the feast goes louder and louder. And after a while, Kate kind of walks up to you, Gemini, and says, "Hey,
yes,
get on stage, man. Tell everybody what you've been up to."
Oh, absolutely. Everyone pay attention to me. Get up on stage.
All right, roll your performance. And because the mood is already quite hip and happening, I'll give you advantage on it.
Wait, am I telling the story or am I actually performing like a song?
It's performance isn't just like a song, it's also telling stories and stuff. So you can make it as expansive as you want. You can tell a story, add a couple of numbers and songs into it, whatever you want. Yeah, it's just to see how the crowd reacts on you.
Okay, sure.
Are there any like torches or fires or anything in the tavern?
Yeah, candles, torches, fireplaces.
With control flames, I can like change the color of some of them. So just as he's doing the story, I'm like, at moments of emphasis, I'm sort of like flaring the fire or changing color to it.
Right.
I'll help with that with some what's it called?
Prestidigitation.
Yes, prestidigitation.
And I'll minor illusion up just whatever I'm talking about. So when I talk about the hag, I'll bring her up and then like same thing with the blob and be like, I killed it with my word. We met a dwarven man, a little bastard by the name of Grimhook. Luckily, Varen killed him outside of a dragon's head. And just
all right.
I'm guessing the Varen's still not here, so.
No, well, you come in at about when they started like 10 minutes into the story. So roll your performance.
I got an 18.
18. Okay, so the crowd is loving it, and they're like enthralled in your story and your performance of it, especially with the support of two of your friends.
Right. Yeah, I'll go through the story, and then let me think. Do I have anything that would work? Oh yeah. I'll take out a pot, and I'll set it on the floor in front of me for money, and then I'll start performing a song. Like after I tell them, and then the hag Grim was dead, and blah 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 blah, and Vince was back, and I'll finish with the flourish on that, and then I'll immediately go into a song.
All right.
And because I can't give myself bardic inspiration, I'm going to sing one of the songs that I wrote for my own bardic inspiration. So we're going to see if this works and if people give him money. All right. He's got scales of the sun, smooth and tanned. People come from far and wide to witness the perfect man. His voice is the most beautiful. They say it can cure the sick. And everyone's jaws hit the floor when he whips out his lute. Oh, whoa, whoa, sweet Gemini.
Nice. Well done.
You should have stuck with Dick.
All right. So it becomes late in the night. Varen, you will notice that Gillet will also arrive about halfway into the story. And she'll kind of walk towards the bar and get a drink and kind of observe this all the thing. She's not really partaking very much into the story. She seems kind of grim.
I suppose I could maybe see if I could take Vince aside, but it depends on how cohesive he is right now.
That depends on Brains.
He's well oiled. He's not paralytic by any stretch, but he's at it. Picture me at the Five Corners, near the end of the night.
For
So
us
he is
that
pretty
doesn't
drunk then,
know
yeah.
that, can we have a description?
I could tweet out a video. I'm sure there's something.
What is he doing at this moment then?
It depends. Is the thing just ended?
It depends on when Varen walks up to you.
Because probably wait until the story's over. Yeah.
So if he's still doing the story, he's still sort of trading on, in between breaks.
And the story is ended.
Yeah. No, he's probably just staggering up to the bar, talking to anyone in particular, just like, it's good to see you again. Never met the person before in my life. Like, how are you? Typical you. Shit like that.
So pretty drunk.
Yeah, well oiled. Like I said, not paralytic. He can still move, but yeah.
Can he move straight?
Well, he can move in straight lines, but they're just sort of zigzagged. But it's also
short lines, yeah.
Straight lines, not line.
You didn't specify. You just said, "Can he walk straight?" I was like, "Yes, he can." See, mathematical mind there. See, they are all technically straight. They're just not long.
Yeah. Varen will sort of like take up to him and wait till he's sort of like finished having his conversation with his three new mates of sorts.
Yep.
And he'll be like, Vince, can I have a conversation?
Yes, you could have several. Go see Gemini is really good. You don't even have to say anything. He'll just talk for you.
No, I want to talk with you, Vince, actually.
Cool. Do you want a drink? Come on, take a drink.
Sure, we'll go to the bar. That's not a bad place to talk.
He's already at the bar. Sorry, he would have been like talking to someone at the bar.
Yeah, very well. We'll go at the bar then.
He'll sort of like pull you in, sort of shoving you in between him and whoever it was he was talking to.
Vince, I have two quite serious questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe three, actually, but that depends on your answers.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know where Grimhook's remains are?
Who?
The Ash.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, there was some dust in the bag.
And what have you been doing with this dust?
That's a complicated question.
Gemini comes up
It's
from behind.
not
You have
very-
any more of that grim?
Yeah.
So, let me get this straight. You're actually sniffing Grimhook's ashes.
Is that what that is?
The remains of what was a dwarf.
Ah, you told me it was drugs.
I said no such thing. I didn't say anything. You just started snorting it. And I thought, well, he's got to be missing at least an arm. He wouldn't like that. So fuck it.
Okay, well,
I did feel closer to God. I did, yeah.
that brings me to question 2. You remember the healing potions we had?
Gonna sneeze in just a cloud of dust.
Do you remember
there's some of them.
The healing potions that we had? Yes?
The wee box.
Yes. Did you have that?
I did.
And you died with it?
Maybe.
It's gone with your gear. That's what I thought.
Swaying back and forth. It might be with my spell, but it might be in the gloop. The gloopy. We can go get the gloopy thing.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to survive that.
Yeah, no, when we're done with it, He'll turn around to anyone who doesn't. Yeah.
Well, it looks like you're not completely coherent for questions, so I don't need to ask you the third one. So I'll probably see you later. And then he just walks out of the bar.
Didn't even buy me a drink. And they're free.
After that, if he comes out of the inn, he's going to head to Chan.
All right.
Did anybody put money in my pot?
Yes, they did.
And how much?
You get around 50 gold pieces.
50?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Right on. Yeah.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
That's a
Just
lot.
remember your friend who needs to buy a really expensive spellbook.
All right.
I shared my Grimhook with you.
It was my Grimhook first. I'm the one who gathered it.
It's
I'm the one who found its recreational use.
It's 6.5. So is there anything you guys need to do before we call it a night?
Oh, no.
Ellie would get the room
There you go.
and probably
Vince
retire
will
early from the party too,
pass.
because it's not relaxing.
All right.
I guess Gemini would go burst down the doors of the whorehouse.
There you go.
I require sex!
That's a damn good idea. Would you have thought of that? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we're both in there just super drunk holding on to each other.
Just want some Grimhook.
Farron, what do you do?
Well, I'm heading over to Chan and the Church of Helm.
All right. Then we'll pick it up there next week.
He'll probably sleep there, so.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching and listening and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Hope you had a good time.
Remember, don't do Grimhook and drive.
It's true.
And we'll be back next week.
Nice.
Yeah.
I will be ending the stream then. Bye,
Okie
everybody.
dokie. Bye-bye.
Bye.